Hello, welcome to the SOAPe Platinum Plus Video Learning Center. Today I'll be helping to familiarize you with the scheduling component of the software. Now when you first launch SOAPe, this is the screen you'll be presented with, and we call this the main dashboard of the application. And it's primarily used for scheduling new patients or current patients and organizing your appointments and what have you, as well as tasks. So I'm just going to give you a brief tour to get you familiar with the screen first. To the left here we have a calendar which features the current month and the following month. Today's date is always highlighted. You can just click on any one of these and it should bring up the schedule for you. The patients that are listed, we only have one in there today, so that's why only one is showing. So below this we have a list of all the providers that are registered in the system. So we have one doctor thus far that's been registered into the system. And then below that we have an appointment management area where you can track canceled appointments, rescheduled appointments, and no-show appointments, which is really a great feature because at the end of the day it allows your staff to have a printout of people who may have forgotten about their appointments or just didn't show, and it allows them to follow up with these patients. Across the top we have a calendar view, which we're in right now. We have a task tab, which is going to help you to assign various tasks to different employees. And then we have the appointments area where you can schedule a new patient, a current patient, or even add a new case to an existing patient. And then finally we have the reporting area where you can run reports on your appointments, and we can also print out provider schedules. And also along the top here we have the workflow view, which we're in right now. We have a daily view, a weekly view, and a monthly view. Give you just a screenshot of your upcoming appointments for the week or for the month. So what we're going to start with today is scheduling a new patient. And the way we go about doing this is we click the New Patient tab. And once we do, we're presented with this screen where we're able to enter the patient's demographic information. And I want to point out that in certain areas you'll notice these little icons next to the drop-down menus, and these allow you to add items to the menus. So in this menu we have a provider listed, a family physician, but let's say we wanted to add one new one. Well, we just click that button and it brings up this screen, provider details, fill in all the essential data, and then we would hit the save button. And of course we didn't fill this out, so we're just going to cancel this out. Referred by, there's ways to track how your patient came to you. Let's say a family doctor had referred the patient to you, and we can document it like this. You can also click on this and add new referral sources, save them, and they'll be there available for all future appointments. And you can also track attorneys as well if you want to list a few of those guys in there. Date of onset, it's already set for today's current date, and the patient's address. And we have a spot to enter an email address for the patient. Now this is very important because SOAPe Platinum Plus software allows you to send automated email reminders to your patients of upcoming appointments. And this can help to reduce no-show visits by notifying the patient a day or two before their appointment, of the appointment date and time. So it's important if they have an email address that you enter it here, otherwise you won't be able to take advantage of this great feature. And if you like, you can actually add your patient's photo as well. You would first need to have the photo on your PC. You would click this button and just browse to it and click OK, and we could enter the patient's photo. So once we get the general information and the contact information entered, we hit the Save button. And the record's been added. Now, by default, the application always asks you if you want to add insurance detail. We're going to select no for now. We'll cover that in another video. And what we're brought with next is the new patient scheduling module. So the patient's name's already in there. The appointment types are listed. And the great thing about this is you can have predefined appointment types. You can set the colors, you can set the visit lengths. So let's say Mr. Copperland was coming in for an adjustment. We just click the adjustment. It knows the adjustments are 10 minutes long, and it will block off a 10-minute slot on your calendar for that date. If we click this icon right here, it allows us to make a new appointment type. So let's say we do massage, and we want to go 60 minutes for massage. Let's see here. Put an hour, and we can define a specific color. And this makes it easy to just stare at the schedule and know exactly what is going on without having to go into the actual application. And then we save it. And once you do that, you'll see that massage is available on the list. You click on it and it's booked for 1 hour. So this makes it very easy to schedule your patients. And we'll set the appointment for today, time, delete evening appointment. Now there's an email reminder feature here, and if you tick this checkbox here, this is what's going to send the patient an automated reminder of their upcoming appointment. And by default, it's set for 1 day before their appointment. You can set this for anything you want, but the patient will receive an email from your office telling them about the upcoming appointment. And we can add some notes here if we like about the patient. And there's ways to make this a recurring appointment. Let's say that Mr. Copperland is going to come in every Monday and Wednesday for an adjustment. Rather than having to enter that every Monday and Wednesday, we're just going to tick off the Make Recurring. We'll start it today, and we'll give them a month's worth of appointments. Click here. It's going to be weekly, Monday and Wednesdays every week, and hit OK. And then we hit the Save button, and we're taken back to the schedule, and there's the patient. The appointment type is documented, and that's it. Now the next thing I want to show you is how the workflow view can help you to manage your patients better. So depending on the day, you're going to see a list of the scheduled patients for your office on that day. And when a patient shows up and arrives at your office, you can just click on their name and actually drag them into the checked in, and that way you know they're actually here. And let's say this patient had actually missed their appointment. They no-showed. So we would click the no-show button to open it. We'd grab it and hold down the button. We'd click and hold and drag him into the no-show area. And this will automatically track him as a no-show for today. Once again, our patient is now checked in and they've been seen. So after they've been seen, we can drag them over to checked out. So you know they've now left the office and completed their appointment. Now another neat feature I'd like to show you is we're going to drag this back to the scheduled area just for demonstration purposes. If you right click any patient's name in the scheduled area, you're going to get a View Details dialog, and when you click on this, it's going to give you a brief summary of the patient, their date of onset, type of case, their insurance, secondary insurance, diagnosis codes, the doctor that they've been assigned to, and the last 2 dates of their visits. Now obviously, because we just set this patient up, we don't have that information inputted into the system yet, but if we did, it would all appear here. And this is just a great way to help manage your patients. Alright, so we'll click this to close out. Now, if we had a current patient that called and wanted to make an appointment with us, we would just click the current patient tab up here, and you would then click this box right here, and it would bring up another dialog with a list of all your current patients in the system, and you would basically just select the patient that you want to schedule the appointment for. You can search for a patient based on their last name, first name, date of birth, or you can just put in all and search if you have a lot of patients in the database. Keep in mind that there's several pages here that can appear as well, so if you have 100 Smiths in your system, you may have to go to another page to find the exact one you want if you're searching by last name. So once again, you would just select the patient, hit OK, and the patient would be in there, and then we'd go through the same process that we went through pretty much to set up a new patient. Okay, and then click the Save button over here when you were done. Alright, so we'll just exit out of here for now. Also, if you notice, there's a new case tab. If we click on that, what that allows you to do is, let's say you had a patient coming in that was involved in a motor vehicle accident, and let's say a week later they come back to you and say, hey, I was involved in a work-related accident now. So it's the same patient, but you're going to set up a new case for that patient, and it's going to have its own insurance information and date of onset and all that other stuff. So new case is basically same patient with two different incidences, and you can set numerous cases. So the patient would actually have to be listed in your system already. You would choose them and set up a new case that way. And the last thing I'd like to go over is the reporting area here, where if we click on the Appointments tab, you'll see you're given several options here to view, print, canceled, no-show, or rescheduled appointments. Total visits report, that can be for any patient in your system if you want to just know how many visits they've had, or the appointment history, and this will give the patient or you a complete printout of all the patient's dates that they've been in to see you. So we'll just leave the first one and click the next button, and we can just put a date in there. It doesn't have to be for a specific patient, and we're going to leave canceled, no-show, and rescheduled, and we'll hit the view button, and we're given a report. Now keep in mind, this was the patient that we dropped into the, I believe, no-show area. Yep, and it says it right there. This patient no-showed on this date. So at the end of the day, you could possibly give this printout to your front desk staff, and they'd be able to call Mr. Johnson and remind him that he missed his appointment today, and hopefully get him rescheduled for another appointment. And to print this, we would just hit the print button right here. Okay. And finally, we have the provider schedule here, and this is basically just a way for the doctors in the office to get a printout of upcoming appointments for a specific day or week or what have you. So the only provider we actually have listed in the system right now is Dr. Jenkins, and if we hit the view button, it's going to run a report, and these are the appointments for Dr. Jenkins today. So that pretty much wraps up the scheduling component of SOAPe Platinum software. For additional help, you can always check our online knowledge base, or you can actually email us as well.